Okay, so we've been following the latest on Tiger Woods' horrible rollover crash. The golf legend is awake, responsive, and recovering from a shattered leg. Surgeons inserted a rod with pins and screws to rebuild his shin and calf bones, as well as his ankle. The road he was driving on in LA is notorious for accidents. TMZ Sports got this video just before the crash, showing Tiger in the SUV traveling along the winding road minutes before. Now, the first responder on the scene described on the Today Show what it was like discovering it was Tiger. Take a look.
I asked him, hey, can you tell me your first name? He looked at me and he said, Tiger. And it took me a half second, but I saw his face and I thought, oh yeah, you're Tiger Woods.
So there are reports that Tiger was in a rush to meet NFL players Drew Brees and Justin Herbert for a golf TV tee time before the crash. And many are wondering what his injuries will mean for his career now. What do you think, Al?
I hope it's the end of his career.
What do you mean?
I hope it's the end
Why?
of his career. I'll tell you why. I watched that Tiger Woods documentary, and it seemed like a person that had golf down pat. That's all he knows, and he is arguably the best person to ever do golf. We got that part of his life. But if you watch that documentary, you also saw that there was a lot of voids. He had issues with relationships with women. He was kind of distant with his kids. He was distant from the other golfers. He was detached from life. I hope now, Jeff, that this is his excuse, his reason, even if he needs to be pushed out of the door, to get ready to do the next 2/3 of his life, which is having more money than he can spend, having beautiful children, and having somebody that he cares about, and working on his addictions day to day. So he's entertained me enough. He's entertained the world enough. Now it's time for him to live his life.
See, I kind of think the opposite, man. First of all, the documentary he wasn't a part of, which I have a problem with. I've said it on the show before. Second of all, I think it's such a big part of his life that he needs it to move on. He needs a goal to recover from this, right? I'm a big Tiger fan. I'm a fan of what he did in the sport, I should say. And he's going to recover from this. He had multiple back surgeries. He came back and won the Masters. He needs this. He needs a goal in his life. With golf, it's not like you're putting your body through football, Al. He could golf on his senior tour. He doesn't have to be a top 100 player. As long as it's in his life, that's what his son's doing right now. As long as he's there for his son to teach him a little bit, I hope he recovers. I hope everything's right. But we were touching on this earlier, Sam, the addiction part of it.
Yeah, what I'm worried about, Erica, is, one of the things that I look at Tiger for inspiration is how, just recently we learned what a treacherous and tumultuous road it's been for him, considering all the surgeries he has had, which he has said, his very own words, led to the addiction to painkillers. So now that he's going to be coming out of this hospital with excruciating pain, he's going to have to rely on those painkillers again. So I just hope that he has the right support around him so that he does not see history repeat itself.
I just think it's too early to really make such broad speculations, especially about someone who has a past with addiction. That was the first thing that everyone
It's never too early. It's never too early with people with addiction.
Well, I'm saying, but what I'm saying is, when we're having this conversation now, there's a lot of factors that we don't know for sure, and I think that it actually does it doesn't do a great service to anyone who has struggled with addiction or anything else, because the automatic implication is that this is what happened because this was their past. If there's a road to redemption, then why do we always have to bring up every past thing that happened to someone in order to justify what's happening today?
Well, let me clarify what I said, because I never painted a picture that he currently is using. And I'm very delicate with that when it comes to addiction. So let me clear that statement.
I think you're saying it more in concern.
My point was, yes, if you are in the hospital now and you are going to be given treatment, I just hope and pray, and I'm sure that he does, he has everybody surrounding him to make sure that he doesn't become dependent on those pain pills that he will be given in the hospital. That is my point. I just want to be crystal clear about it.